Hey.
S.
Yo, we're continuing our fucking shit.
Yep. Well, actually, this is the start of it.
This is the beginning.
Well, actually, no.
It's already started, man.
Yeah.
I put up that for right.
Oh, you didn't put it up there earlier?
No.
Well, this wouldn't even be the start anyway, because we put up stuff before this.
No. Black Dahlia Murder, Nocturnal. I bought this for $5.99 at CD Warehouse, R.I.P. That was the best place ever, man.
I beat you. I got definitely for $3.99.
Oh, well, lick my ass. We do a lot of ass licking. So this is the Black Dahlia Murder's third record. This came out 2007, and it follows up Miasma. So yeah, buddy. A lot of people, hold this as the best Black Dahlia Murder record, and is it the best to us? Well, we'll just have to see. Sam, what's your thoughts?
I would probably just say this is tied with my favorite one. This and Everything. No, not Everything Went Black. Into the Ever Black. Black is in both of them. So yeah, I would say it's tied with my favorite. It's the first album featuring Shannon Lucas. Brian does all the guitar stuff because Ryan Knight's not there yet. He joins an album later. But mostly this is just the first. This is the first experience that I had with the Black Dahlia Murder, the first album that I listened to, and probably the first album that a lot of people listen to, because I still haven't really listened to their first two albums all that much, or EP or whatever. So this is really the first thing that I listened to from them. Really, it's not like their later stuff at all. It's not like great soloing and intelligent riffing and lead guitaring with Ryan Knight. It's just a lot of dirty, just
Wieners.
yeah. How would I say it? Raw, more like not crystal clear guitar riffing. Just a lot of smash up stuff. That's like like the song Climactic Degradation, track number 8, probably one of my favorite songs off the album. The lyrics weren't quite there, or they aren't quite there yet. The Trevor Sternad lyrics, that's his name, Sternad. But the lyrics aren't quite there about being about things. It's more of just that death metal stuff, like, just this, this dies, that dies, whatever. There's some type of death war or something. It's just mostly about death. It's not about specific things yet. So, but Climactic Degradation being a song, it's just one of the best songs out there about just wanting everything to die. It sounds kind of bad, but lyrically it's just about, the human race sucks. And it's not like, oh, people suck, we are violent by nature or something like that, hint hint. It's not just droning on about how people suck or whatever. It's going into detail about how people suck or whatever. Sounds dumb to talk about it, but if you listen to the song, it's actually, fits with the music and everything. They have like the big song, What a Horrible Night to Have a Curse. Probably one of the biggest songs. Song most people know from them. My favorite track off the album is Everything Went Black. It's both of those songs just like the Black Dahlia Murder. But they both just, I don't know, something's happening, I don't know what it is. But both of those songs just go full force, and get away, fucking idiot. It's like, I don't know, there's a fucking idiot here.
Yeah, there it is.
There.
Apologies.
Yeah, but
Gosh.
I don't know what to say. Everything Went Black is my favorite song off the album. It's like I was saying earlier, it's not the Black Dahlia Murder that you know now. It's well, not so much as it is now. It's still righteously fast, and it's Shannon Lucas being on the drums, Brian as Bach being on guitar, Trevor on vocals. It's still, like the Black Dahlia Murder.
What's his face is on lead guitar too. I never heard of him. John Kapanen. I guess he does the soloing.
Well, it's not like the best in the world, but it's some stuff that's kind of memorable. Like when you listen to the song, you just like whenever the solo comes in, you're like, oh yeah, well I remember this. But it's nothing outside of that you're always going to remember. It's just while you're listening to it, you're like, I remember how this goes. But it's overall it's a pretty raw Black Dahlia Murder album compared to who they are now and everything. Production wise, riff wise, solo wise, it's so raw. I think that's probably the biggest reason why people like it so much, is because of that sound to it. It sounds like it probably could be the first album, like just generally before some of the Ryan Knight stuff came along. But it's still great with Ryan Knight. It's just this is like, but yeah, everything went black. Death Mask Divine, one of the best songs they've ever written, I think.
Yes.
It just doesn't stop. It doesn't lose any momentum going the entire way through the song. It doesn't let up. It's just a great album. Then I thought ending it with Warborn was kind of... Warborn is a good song. It's one of the songs they've written that doesn't quite fit the Black Dahlia Murder, their usual style of things, where it's very slow and chuggy, and it's still a good song. It's a little different. But that really also says more about this album. It's more of a old Black Dahlia Murder, if you will. But really most of this album lyrically, it's just like this track 4, I Worship Only What You Bleed, that really kind of says a lot about lyrically. Trevor he really formed his high scream, whatever you want to call it, like, I think mostly on Deflorate. On here it's still pretty raw and nasty sounding. And I think that's another draw towards this album compared to a clean, more rounded edges type of thing. And his lows, whatever, they've always been about the same. But overall this album is definitely the most unpolished, you could say, among Black Dahlia Murders that I've listened to.
Yeah, I mean, the Black Dahlia Murder, their production gets better and better and better with every album, and this album doesn't have the worst production for Black Dahlia Murder in terms of just being raw, but it still definitely has that raw feeling to it. But yeah, I mean, I think this album more, to me, is a grower. I mean, this album really took a long time to hit me that it was, good. Deflorate, Ritual, albums like that just hit me right away. This one just took a while, but it does have some very, very standout tracks in the Black Dahlia Murders discography, I guess. Death Mask Divine, I do agree with Sam, is one of the best Black Dahlia Murder songs ever written. That riff that song opens up with is so catchy and so good. And then it gets to the more like chuggy riff after, and it's still got that blast beat going. It's just so fucking heavy. I mean, that is an incredible song. But there's other really good songs. Nocturnal, the title track is great. And on that song, it always stuck out to me, kind of the weird effect that's on Trevor's voice during the chorus. I thought that worked.
It sounds kind of like an inhale.
Yeah, kind of. Like, it sounds weird. I don't know if it's actually his voice, if it's an effect. Either way, it's interesting. And then it has, Everything Went Black, and I always get it fucking wrong. What's the one really popular one? What a Horrible Night to Have a Curse. I always get it wrong. I don't listen to that song as much as a lot of people, dig it, but it is a solid song. But what's the one? To a Breathless Oblivion. That is an incredible song as well. So there's a lot of really standout tracks on here, and I feel this is kind of, to me, the beginning of where the Black Dahlia Murder started to go in terms of just writing incredibly catchy songs. And it's weird. Like, I listened to Unhallowed, and, you know, everything really blends together to me. Then I listened to their second album. It still blends together to me a lot, but not as much. I listened to Nocturnal, only a couple songs, but a lot of them really stand out. And it gets better and better and better as, you know, you listen to their albums as they've progressed. And, you know, this definitely, you know, has... I'd say it has more standout tracks than it has, you know, not standout tracks, filler tracks, whatever. In terms of guitar work, this isn't the flashiest that the Black Dahlia Murder has had. There are some really good riffs on here, but, you know, not every one and every single song stands out like I feel it does on some of their other albums. But some riffs on here just stand out so well, such as, you know, like I said in Death Mask Divine. But the chorus riff and Everything Went Black, that is such a good riff. It's so catchy.
After the first chorus, when it like comes back and starts blasting.
Yeah, that one too. And you know, the opening to What a Horrible Night to Have a Curse, you know, is definitely very catchy with just these, you know, very fast trots. It's definitely interesting. I feel this is also where Trevor really started to, I guess, develop how he did things in terms of, you know, kind of flipping that switch between a high scream and a low scream, and, you know, being able to do that like that. I mean, he did it before, but I feel like he just kind of started to really perfect it on this album, and it sounds a lot better on here. Overall, I think this is a solid album. I don't think this is the best Black Dahlia Murder album. This is my opinion, of course. But it's definitely a worthy listen. Don't get me wrong. It's a good album. Yeah, I mean, it has solid guitar work, very good drumming from Shannon Lucas. I mean, that's what you should expect from him. And, you know, vocals are good. It's good. It's not bad.
Favorite song?
Definitely Death Mask Divine. I love that song. You said Everything Went Black, right?
Yeah. What would you give the album for a rating? Also, the start of Virally Yours is pretty cool.
Yeah. I would give this album probably an 8.25.
I'd say personally, I would give it a 10 out of 10, but, you know, looking at the album, taking a step back and judging and everything, probably a 9 out of 10 easily, but in personal, you know, nostalgia and, you know, personal appreciation, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, buddy. See you guys around. Keep watching. Yo. And blaze it.